County, Michigan now. And he was in the midst of restoring his SP600, which are very, very cool, as you know. And he says there's so many capacitors in that. I mean, the paper capacitors, the electrolytics, and his was a military version. So instead of standard type black beauties, they're metal encased. And so there's dozens and dozens of those things in that particular receiver. So I figured I'd let you in on that. Fine on the shopping and all that business there. So yeah, to go next door to the Hans. They're the ones up closer to Newkirk Station, because I got some of their mail in my mailbox. Whenever that happens, I often wonder if my mail goes to other people too, because I stuck it in their back door. I don't think they were home. I usually do that if I get other people's mail, rather than really not supposed to open their mailbox. But because I put it at the door, they'll know that there was a problem. See what I'm saying? So it was just advertisements. I mean, it wasn't anything. Didn't appear to be anything important. So yeah, it sounded like there was a lid, a wacko on there, similar to what we hear on the KZ thing. It wasn't the same guy, but it's got with HTs. Low power. I mean, the chances of finding somebody is it's smaller than a needle in a haystack. W3MMR waiting for WA3 DSP, W2SDR.
WA3 DSP.
It's absolutely clean, Doug. It's all it took was the one key up.
Okay, great. Glad to hear that. Yeah, that guy has been bugging us for years. It's been a while since he's been around. I really wish I could find him. I know there's a guy out. There's a guy in. Is it in Electric Radio? I forget. No, I guess it's. Yeah, maybe it is Electric Radio. In the ads, he advertises a radio direction finding system. Quite expensive. It's like $300 or $400. But you really need to triangulate it. And if the guy is moving around, it's not going to do much good anyhow. So I don't know. If it happened more often, I'd probably pursue it more. But it's pretty rare. Whoever this person is, they seem to go after me. When I'm on there, they seem to go after me, and not other people for some reason. Let me tell me if my audio is okay. I sent an email to.
Sounds good.
Because he's the one that put out the mods for this 32 on the AM phone years ago. And for some reason, there's a mistake in the schematic, and even the values are wrong. I don't know how it got out like that. But I tried to put the inverse feedback in here, and it didn't work. All it did was give me feedback. And I tried swapping the plate caps on the 807s, thinking that maybe it wasn't set up right, and that didn't make any difference. So I sent an email to Tim. I haven't had any response back, but I don't have inverse feedback in here right now. I'm just have the other mods in here. All right, back to you, Frank. And I think your son's in here, but I didn't hear him yet. W2SDR, WA3 DSP.
He's in here. Give me about 15 or I got some comments too. Give me about 15 or 20 seconds, and I should have done it during that transmission, and I'll get a quick recording of you at 9 kilohertz, Doug.
Okay, very good, Frank. I've got some noise in the background here. I'm in the basement. There's a fan running in the background, so I don't know if this picks that up or not. But I am giving you some talk. W2SDR, WA3DSP.
I got you. That was at 9 kilohertz. That my synchronous detector moved a little bit, so that if you hear that, that's not you. Sounds terrific. I wouldn't do, and Perry broke in there real quick. He said, too, I wouldn't touch a doggone thing. The only thing that it's doing, and you'd know about this because we remarked about it before, there's a little bit of VFO suck, when you first key it up. But that's, after it's only of about maybe 150 hertz or so, it drifts up a teeny bit, but that happens within seconds. So it's like, a suck out thing. And then it's fine. So I wouldn't even worry about it. But as far as the audio goes, the way the transmitter sounds, and I'll let Perry give his opinion. I haven't heard any better. 32V. Okay, so any changes I would not even consider. The other thing is, just swapping those plate caps will just reverse the polarity of the audio. Okay. So you may want to check that on the scope to make sure you're going in the right direction, as far as positive goes. But it couldn't sound any better, in my opinion. That's with a D104 too, Perry. So kudos, Doug. And yeah, well, I also very good friends with Jeff DiPaolo over there at N3KZ system, and he's been plagued, and that system's been plagued for a couple of years now. And he just shuts everything down, all those repeaters, and leaves them down for weeks sometime, and then turns them back on, and within a matter of time, the creep is back. He's got a different voice, though, than your guy. But it's just a real shame. Over to you, Perry. How you doing with Doug? Doug's about 15 to 20 over here. W3MMR in the group, W2SDR.
Yeah, hey Doug, hey Pop. There's a breaker in there too. I don't know if anybody caught him. He was way down at the noise. See a carrier, and but no, I wasn't able to make out all of the audio. But anyway, good evening, Doug. Yeah, that thing sounds good. I wouldn't touch a thing at all. You mentioned negative feedback or inverse feedback. I'm not a big fan of it. I've experimented with it on my DX100. On my Ranger. On the DX100, all it did was just reduce gain too much, and didn't make any difference in cleanliness, in less distortion, anything like that. So it was just, to me, there was nothing but negatives for the negative feedback. Then in the Ranger, I was having a squealing issue when I moved the negative feedback winding on the Ranger, because Ranger Mod Transformer has its own tertiary feedback winding. Timmy, WA1HLR, recommends moving it from the 12AX7 or from the 12AU7 to the 12AX7. And I was getting squealing issues, but then I found out that I was doing something wrong, so I was injecting it into the wrong spot. And yeah, that's one of the better 32 V2s that I've ever heard. Thing sounds fantastic. It's very clean. It's very punchy. It's not real wide. It's very, all your audio is right within 8 kilohertz. And I listen around 10 kc and anywhere from 8 to 10, and it sounds phenomenal, Doug. So I think you really nailed it. I really do. So 2 thumbs up. Yeah, again, great signal, man. You're about 25 over S9 with an S9 noise floor here, so pretty good signal to noise ratio this way, Doug. And yeah, crappy on the lid, man, on the QRM, man. Yeah, it's people have nothing better to do, I guess, and think it's just immature people that are immature. And I guess you think they might be targeting you, Doug. I've been targeted, quote unquote, before by QRMers, and it's a mess, man. All you can really do is ignore it, and kind of hope it goes away. That's what I do anyway. But it's a little different with you when you've got that whole the hub and everything is your responsibility. I mean, it's a whole different ball game with what you got going on there, Doug. So I'll send it back over to you, Doug. Again, great signal, great audio. Everything sounds fantastic and seems to be working just fine. WA3 DSP with W2 SDR. Oh, and I'm on my Anon this evening, Doug, my Apache Labs Anon SDR 200D with a AL80B. I'm driving the AL80B at about 160 watts. Homebrew balanced L network antenna tuner into a 600 ohm open wire fed 80 meter doublet up about 70 feet. Back to you, Doug. WA3 DSP in the group. W3 MOR.
WA3 DSP, very good. And thank you both for your fine comments. Glad that everything is working well. Well, I can button this thing up now. I think probably I've done the last thing I need to do on it. I need to make an update to my documentation on the web page, though, about this, so that other people will realize that the mods that are out there are really wrong as far as the inverse feedback is concerned. I only hear something back from Tim on it, but if not, you're right. I don't think I really need it, and it's often added to amplifiers to reduce distortion and noise, but I don't see where it's going to be necessary here at all. So I'm going to take that back out of the circuit and just be done with it. There was another mod, Tom WA3KLR was listening yesterday when we were talking, and he sent me an email, Frank, last night. And he said the way he cured that problem was the second audio stage, the second triode of that 6SL7 has a 4700 ohm resistor to ground with no capacitance, and on the cathode. And what he did is he put an electrolytic on there, maybe a 10 microfarad or something, and he said that did away with the hum. And that makes sense, because if the hum is coming from the filament to the cathode, that would tend to bypass it. So that would probably be another way to do it. But putting the DC on there is probably a better way to do it. I don't know, than to fool around with that. That might give me a little more low end, though, if I put a cap on there. I'll have to experiment with that sometime and just see what it does. And yeah, this guy's been around for years. He loves to just keep repeating over and over the same words. He doesn't have a very, very wide vocabulary, and he just, I don't know, sometimes I think it's a recording, because it's the same thing over and over and over again. And it often happens on weekends, and when I disconnected it tonight, it was on my repeater in Abington, the 220 repeater. Frank, I don't know if you have anything on 220, but you should be able to get into that, I would think, if you did. It's a pretty wide area repeater. It's on 22376, and it's at Abington Hospital, pretty high up, and probably looks pretty much down on the south. And oftentimes he gets in on that repeater. I disconnect that repeater on the weekends from 7 in the morning till 7 at night, because he was just bothering us too much on the weekends. But that would be the place to look for him, on 220. But he's been on other nodes too. He kind of hops around. I'm running the 32V1 here, which was the first in the series, and it has the OB2 mods for the screen voltage. That was a later mod on the 32V1, and of course I put a lot of mods into it. If you want to see what I've done, you can go to my website, wa3dsp.org, and look at the Collins 32V1. And I'll be updating that page with this latest DC on the filaments that I did. And right now it's about 70 watts output. I'm on the low tap. If I went on the high tap, it would be over 100. But it's not worth running more power. You know, that much more, that little bit much more power to preserve the tubes in here. So I'm going to say 7.3 and listen out here. Thanks, Frank, and for all your comments. That's great. I'm glad that that took care of it. W2SDR in the group, WA3DSP 7.3.
I don't think you can kill a 4D32.
Well, I'm sure it would, but it is a nice tube. It's a shame it's not still around and being manufactured today.
Let me. Okay, hi Brett. W2SDR here. Yeah, just a couple of comments. Yeah, well, of course you'll have more audio at the lower RF, so I don't think you're going to run out of headroom with the audio, but that's just another thought. So, yeah, 4D32 is a great tube. That's for sure. I don't have anything for 220. Doug, that's the only major ham band I have never had a contact on. Not anything above 70 centimeters anyway. But never a contact or never had a radio on 220. So, yep. So I'll check out the website. I heard you talking about that the other day. So when I get a chance, I'll check everything out. So congratulations once again. And yeah, I imagine it'd be very difficult to find someone like that. Maybe check your blacklist. I mean, maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe it's a starting point to anybody that would be within range of that repeater, but if it's so high and it's got great coverage, then it makes it even harder. So to find what's. And Timmy is he only gets on computers if his life depends on it. So don't hold your breath about getting a response. He doesn't. He's not real email attentive. But anyway, I'm sure he'll be very interested in hearing what you've done there and what have you. So good to hear. 7-3, Doug. Catch you later. And over to you, Brett. Well, let me let Perry say a quick bye to. Let Perry say a quick 7-3 to Doug, and we'll see what's what. And I'm glad we came down here again because we're trying to kind of get more spread out a little bit with the AM business here, much to the chagrin of other folks. W3MMR in the group, W2SDR.
Yeah, W2SDR, W3MMR. What? I wonder what rig. Are you on the SDR tonight, Dad? Real quick.
Yeah. Do you hear some blips?
No, I just wondering what rig you're on. That's all. I'm on mine. Because I remember, Brett. Because I've been trying to. Brett brought up a good point last night. He asked me, he's like, Perry, what rig are you on? I said, I'm on my non, blah, 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 blah. He's like, well, usually people don't say what rig they're on unless somebody asks, So I've been trying to, say my rig more or ask people what they're on, Just because of that, Brett. See, you're making a dent in the hobby. 7-3 to Doug, man. Great talking to you and working you on here. I got to put you in the log because this is the first time I've worked you anywhere else besides the hub. So, real cool, man. And I if it was me, I wouldn't want any more low end, or I wouldn't change a thing. I think that transmitter sounds fantastic. For my taste, anyway. I think it sounds really, really good. But again, obviously it's subjective. It's your radio. It's whatever you want to do, man. So, but in my opinion, I think it sounds great. It really does, man. It really, really does. So 7-3 to you. And hi, Brett. Good evening. Tell you real quick about Timmy's email. He goes on there. I think he'll go on once a week maybe to check his email, if that. So. He'll get around to it eventually. I think I'm still waiting on emails back from him from 6 months or so ago. So Maybe he'll get back to me. But I catch him on here more than I catch him anywhere else. So 7-3, Doug. And good evening, Brett. Over to you. Into DTS in the group, W3MMR.
Well, good evening.
I'm going to reboot. Be right
I'm
back.
into DTS, and
Okay.
73's a Doug. Yeah, it sounds good, but you don't have to worry about blowing up a 4D32. Well, the only thing, if you drop it, I've got an RF deck that runs 3 of them at 1200 volts, plate modulated, 300 watts carrier output. Been running it for years and years, and it just works fine. Run my 32V3 on the 700 volt tap, and I get about 90 watts out. And when you raise the voltage, Frank, you're not thinking it, you raise the voltage on the modulators as well. You go from 600 to 700 volts, and you can raise the voltage on the modulation tubes, the 807s as well. So it's pretty much the same thing, but it probably really doesn't make a difference between 60 or 70 watts and 100 watts or 90 watts. So, but man, I think they were selling new 4D32s for $25 a while ago, and I got I think I have 10 of them, and I've never had one fail. The 32V I have is the same tube in it when I got it, and the RF deck's got the same 3 in it. I just picked them out and put them in there. I guess they're all good. Maybe I should try the ER, the infrared thermometer.
Okay.
When it's working. Anyway, I think, sometimes people worry too much about this stuff. They just, filament voltage, plate voltage. Nah, I think this stuff is pretty tough. I have a hard time blowing this stuff up. Anyway, I got a new preamp. I blew up my Behringer box, which I kind of liked, but time to move on. And I bought an ART Pro Channel 2, which is, the bottom end of audio products. It's really garbage, so it suits me just great. But I'm using that. That replaced the mic preamp, the graphic equalizer, and that Composer Pro, which I was using just for level control, to get the line level up high enough on the output. And this box has replaced all that. So everything in one box. I got the microphone into it, and I come out on one of the side channel things and go to the Schlockwood 3-band compressor, and then back into the box, and it seems to be working. You might report how it sounds. It's got a whole bunch of parametric equalizer things with the low mid and the high mid and the highs and the lows, and you can pick the width, and it's kind of confusing, but I have it dialed in. You might report. We'll see how long this thing lasts. But it's one box. It has a real meter on it. I like it. It has a real VU meter on it. So, hey, how can you go wrong with that? Over to you there, Frank. Beautiful day today. I got out and did yard work. I was feeling pretty good, and I got a lot of stuff done outside. I hope you got outside. It was, it was really nice. I know Perry's probably had to work, but at least I guess it's nicer to work when it isn't cold. I remember working in a garage, and it was like a snowy day, and the guys would pull the cars in and put them on the lift, and they'd be getting like chunks of ice down their backs and stuff. That's got to be a bummer. W2SDR, what do you think about this ART garbage? Go ahead.
Oh, I think it sounds terrific. It's extremely clean. Sounds very good. So I have no suggestions, and it sounds great. Really nicely balanced. Of course, I've been talking to you for years, so I know exactly what you sound like, and I couldn't have make any suggestions. Brett, sounds really good. Well, I heard you make those comments last night, Perry, about why do people mention their rigs, why don't people mention their rigs. I think it's because, on sideband, you were saying, because most sidebanders just have a radio in front of them and a microphone hooked up to the front of it. They might give them a rundown of their station when a new guy, because, he'll just say, I've got a Kenwood TS-870, I'm running a 3-element Mosley at 70 feet. And that's it. There's nothing else to say about the radio, because, you just have the mic, and most likely it's the regular mic that they make for it, and it's just the radio. Now, on the other hand, if the guy's a hi-fi type guy, it's got like a rack with like 5 or 6 of these boxes in it, and he sounds like a hi-fi guy, and the other guy that's come back to him is a hi-fi guy, he's going to mention everything, because if he finds out that the other guy's into that stuff, he's going to go through the whole lineup. And I think AMers, since they don't use a transceiver, they're going to say, well, I got a Johnson 32V1 or a Collins 32V1 transmitter, Hammerlin HQ160, because, open wire. I mean, it's just what you do. That's just my take on it. And the SDR, as far as audio equipment, Perry's doing the same thing, Brad. I just have an A to D converter here, a microphone, an A to D converter, and a radio. Just whatever stuff is in the radio to tailor the audio, that's all I use. Is that nothing, no boxes, no anything. No need to, because it's got the software in it. So. But your ART is very, very clean. Sounds great. It really does. And I'm sure Perry will agree. And I'll turn the volume up because I'm way behind on cocktail time here. Way behind. I got to get to the bar, which is my kitchen counter next to the stove, and mix one. W3MMR in a group, W2SDR.
How about you, C2K?
Hey, there's Rick. Get you right in there, Rick. Good evening. We'll go around the horn here. We'll get you in. Brett, you make a couple comments. I wasn't really paying attention there until the end when he was talking about the radio thing, but I was over here talking to my kid on the phone, texting back and forth. Go ahead, Brett, and then we'll send it over to Rick, and then I'll pick it up. That's WC2K over there, N2DTS W3MMR.
Okay, I was just saying, I replaced a whole crap load of audio gear with one ART, cheap ART mic preamp compressor equalizer, and I don't use a compressor. And you got it dialed in. Your father says it sounds good, so that's good enough for me. You can tailor it to each transmitter easily. I got the screen modulated stuff sounds a little bit different than the plate modulated stuff, and each plate modulated transmitter has a slightly different sound to it because of the iron used in it. So you got to be able to quickly tailor the audio a little bit towards each. Says it's good, so that's good enough for me. I must say, Perry, your low end really comes through. You got well, it's an SDR, but I mean, I'm sure you got it set to go down, clear down to 20 hertz, and you're bumping things, and I'm hearing subsonic things in the receive audio. It sounds really, really cool. I don't know how many people can't hear stuff like that. The really low frequency stuff. This transmitter, this has got an RCA mod transformer, and it goes pretty low. But I wouldn't push it too hard, you know, the heavy modulation. That screen modulated stuff is great, but man, you put some real low end in there, and a lot of people can't hear that, but I think that sounds really cool. You got it equalized nicely, so like that real low stuff is in there, but that mud frequency's on. And on a good receiver, man, that sounds so cool. I don't hear your father's audio going, you know, that low to subsonic stuff, but it could be, you know, the microphone, how he's got it set, how he likes to run it. So, and I know with the SDR receivers, you can hear it. I can hear it on my homebrew and in the SDR, and the ICOM, I don't hear any of it. So, I think you said W2CTK, is that it?
Hey, where are the white women at?
This is N2DTS, November 2, Delta Tango Sierra. Handle is Brett. We're located in Voorhees, New Jersey. And I wanted to ask Frank about the night kit. I think he had a, was it a 150 or a 60 that he used to externally modulate. Man, that thing sounded fantastic for a piece of crap. I'm telling you. Over to you there, Rick, from N2DTS.
Before I go too far, Harry, are you hearing me okay?
Oh, yeah, I hear you fine, Rick.
All right, running low power here, way stop. Good evening, guys. Brett, I stopped to see you today. This is Rick, WC2K, Carranza Road, Tabernacle. Your co-worker who rides with you was the one who told me about the situation a month ago or so, and so I'm aware of what's going on, or what was going on. So I'm really glad to hear that you were outside today, getting around. And even today, you gave me a very positive report that you should be you're anxious to get back to work, and that you're feeling much better. So I was going to call you. Actually, I stopped in to see you about a month ago, a day or two after your mishap, because I had something to talk to you about, ham radio related, and I haven't bothered you because I knew you were recovering this. I think I still have your cell phone number. Maybe it's your work phone number. I need some help, if you're willing, on getting a piece of equipment going that I think you might be familiar with. We can talk about it on the phone. I don't want to tie this up with that. Everybody sounds great, and I'm going to turn it over to Harry because I don't know if Frank's back yet. So W3MMR in the group W.
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, I'll get right over to you, Pop. I still haven't made one yet. I wasn't paying attention to what Brett was saying, and so I handed it to him. But yeah, real good, Rick. Yeah, you're coming in just fine here. Brett, I hear that too, the subsonic stuff. I didn't know if anybody else heard that. I'm using a Heil desk boom. Okay, it's like one of the side mount booms, and an SM7B. And I guess there's a shock mount inside of the SM7B, but you're hearing my knee hitting the desk is what you're hearing. I'll fiddle with my knee like up and down on the desk when I'm talking, or I'll like put my hand down on the desk or something, or be tapping my finger on the desk and you can hear it come through. And I hear it on your and I hear it on a lot of people with this receiver, because this thing goes down to DC. But I got a 10-inch woofer, a Yamaha subwoofer under the desk, and so it goes down pretty low, man. I can hear just about everything. But I've been noticing it, like if I make a recording on a Kiwi SDR or something, I can hear it clear as day. It drives me crazy. And I'm like, I never remind myself to be cognizant of it while I'm on the radio, so I always forget. But thanks for the compliments on the audio. And yeah, like my pop said, just a Behringer UMC 202 HD A to D converter, or mic pre, and right into the PC, then via virtual audio cable into the Anon. Almost no latency. I mean, latency is like almost like minuscule, you know. So it works fine, and obviously the processing in here, it works great. When I first got the Anon, I had my rack hooked, all my rack gear hooked up to it and everything. And speaking of rack gear, I think the ART unit sounds great, Brett. I didn't know you changed anything. I wouldn't even have been able to tell. You sound like you've always sounded. So I wouldn't even thought twice about it, man. So back over to you, Pop. W2SDR in the group, W3MMR.
Okay, W3MMR in the group, W2SDR, and good evening to you, Rick. It's been a while. Perry and I have been spending a lot of time on Fusion, Yaesu Fusion. Mostly, I host a room on there called Bushmills and Wires X Fusion, so we've been spending a lot of time on there. And here, up in the AM window, usually every morning early and every evening around this time. Pretty much every evening. Between here and 3885. So, yeah, you're 15 to 20 over with your setup there, Rick. Sound great, man. I mean, a very nice signal. There was something else that I wanted to mention. I drew a blank. I didn't write anything down here, so I should have. But I was busy mixing my happy hour cocktail. I'm gonna miss that. So I'll just keep moving it around. I use the low filter, Perry, on my microphones. I don't want that subsonic. It sucks up a lot of your power. You know, I mean, when you see a lot of wattage, I mean, if it's heard, it's sucking up power on something that's not part of talking, you know. Now that Heil mic connection you have there, that's, you know, it's the same one, you know, as you know, on the 27. I mean, that thing is not insulated from the desks at all, you know. It's like right on there. So, but as you know, because I told you before a lot of times, I always run the low cut on my microphones, so rather than to pick up some of that. Anyway, but yeah, when you first key up, sometimes I could hear it through the Fostexes here. But yeah, it's all fun. Over to you, Brad. Into DTS in the group, W2SDR. And that's where you were starting to get squeezed on either side up in here.
Okay, W2SDR in the group. From Into DTS. Yeah, Rick, I called Frank just to see how things are going. I hate to, you know, have abandoned them guys, you know, but, you know, he said that you stopped by. I think he said you stopped by before. He must have had a problem with that repeater or checking something out. Oh, yeah, doing a lot better today. Yeah, I'll be out for till February, I think. Somewhere around there. Yeah, I got pretty screwed up. And it, you know, it's a slow, light, silly bike, but you get old enough, it doesn't take much to break a whole bunch of bone. So yeah, no problem. I'll give you my cell phone. You got something to write with. My work phone is forwarded to it, but you can call me and I'll put you in the contact list 856-410-7676. My work phone, work provided phone crapped out, and they won't replace it before 2 years, so I just got my own phone and forwarded the number. And that way I only got to carry one phone anyway, so. But no problem. I got a lot of time on my hands. I've been playing around with some, stuff, so it's not a problem to help you with whatever. I have a pretty good junk box. And we were talking about, the subject came up as like, nobody on sideband asks what you're running, but not many people on AM care or ask what you're running. You can start a new QSO with somebody on AM that you haven't talked to before, and if you don't tell them what you're running, they probably won't ask, they won't care. And I don't know why that is anymore, but there's even a wider range of things that people can run now than they used to. There used to be ham gear and maybe some military transmitters, but now you got Class E, Class D, SDRs of various types, vintage gear, home brew, military. It should be an interesting thing, but maybe the technical aspect has disappeared. Anyway, over to you there, Rick. What you been up to? What do you got? What do you got for me to play with?
All right, into DTS and the group WC2K. Well, glad to hear you're feeling better. And I had when your coworker told me today that you're bored, you reported you were bored. I had the perfect project. So I'll call you on the phone and we'll talk about it. I don't want to have any psychological impact here on the radio. If you're going to resist and reject, I'll deal with that on the phone. But I think you'll probably welcome it. So glad to hear you're going around. And I'm an old guy too, and I haven't had any slips or falls lately, but I had a very simple slip and fall in my driveway 6 years ago on ice, carrying both hands full in the dark, heading out to my truck to go to work, and it resulted in a torn rotator cuff, and I've never dealt with it because I don't have the 2 or 3 months to stop working and get it repaired, and now it's to the point where there's so much scar tissue they don't want to work on it. So, it's tough getting old, and we get fragile, and we got to be careful. So, tomorrow I'm going out on the PA Turnpike to work on 2 towers for the Pennsylvania Turnpike. One at Valley Forge, right at the toll booth. They call that the Valley Forge interchange, and then we're going to Willow Grove. And there's a problem on a PA Turnpike. They got one kind of off the turnpike in Willow Grove. It's right in a neighborhood. This big 200-foot behemoth covers a whole property that the PA Turnpike owns, right in a very close, densely populated neighborhood. So that's the job for tomorrow. And I'm very thankful for this warm weather. Whatever is causing it, I'm happy about it. So Brett, I'll call you on the phone. And I think Frank was making the point that we are interested in knowing what the AM, the ham on AM is running. I am. I'm always interested because it could be such a variety. I don't care on single sideband. I don't care what you're running, really. I don't care at all, as long as your signal is clean and free of RF distortion or feedback. I'm always interested in antennas. That's the main business in any station, and especially in the generic world of single sideband and CW. The antenna is the variable that interests me, but on AM it's everything from the microphone to and including the antenna. So I'm always interested in knowing. And I usually hear hams engaged in an AM QSO sharing that information. So this happens to be a Kenwood TS990, which is probably the third time I've ever even flipped it to the AM mode. I have an AM set up here. I have a Collins receiver, Collins transmitter pair, which I normally run on AM, and tonight I just this was convenient, so I gave this a try. And I'm only running very low output, about 30 watt TPO transmitter power output to my this is a 75 meter sloping dipole, so sort of a vertical polarized. And I'm glad that you all are hearing me. I thought it might be too weak. So that's it for me. I'm going to grab some supper. And Frank, I would say 4 out of 5 days a week at 5:30 to 6 to 6:30, 5:30 to 6:30 in the morning. I listen to you on and Ernie and Garrett and Joe and Glenn and Tony, and I listen to you guys so often. I could break in and they would all, immediately treat me as a stranger, because I would be a stranger, but I feel like I know everybody. So at least 4 out of 5 days a week, sometimes 5 days a week while I'm having my breakfast, I listen in. I'm not able to transmit because I'm usually at my shop in my office with no transceiver. I listen to you guys on an SDR, online SDR, and I thoroughly enjoy the conversation. And to be frank with you, Frank, to be honest with you, Frank, your energy at that hour in the morning is better than coffee for me. It just gets me going. You're usually fired up, making a point, and I love it. It's great to listen to. So when you guys switch over when you go to 160 to hook up with Perry, I usually switch over and listen to you there, and then back to 75. And by that time, I'm out the door and heading to the job. So just letting you know. Over to you, Perry. W3MMR and the 3WC2K.
He's stalking you.
That's pretty cool, Rick. Well, there's a lot of people that listen, man. A lot of people just, do a lot of listening. I listen a lot in the mornings. I listen on 45 as well, Rick. Ask my dad. He'll be sitting there, and his phone will start blowing up because I'll be sitting there commenting, and his answer will be, "Get your extra." That'll be his response to me. Which I need to do, man. I've been procrastinating on that. Well, speaking of 160, I've had a lot of fun on 160 this winter or fall. Not even winter yet, but I've definitely been having a good time on it. I gotta put out some more ground radials because it seems to help my match with this short piece of wire on 160. So that's real cool, Rick, about going to fixing stuff on the turnpike, and you got a pretty cool job, dude. I will say, pretty interesting job, man. That's for sure. All good. It's real cool, man. Definitely wouldn't mind doing that. That would be pretty cool to do. But I've been working on cars for 20 years now, and I'm pretty well invested in that. It'd be kind of a hard to. Well, probably wouldn't be hard for a career change, but it's a little late in the game, I think. Well, I'm only 34, so I guess it's not late in the game. I've been working on cars for a long time, man. Anyway, let me see here. You know what? I forget to ask what people are on sometimes, and a lot of the times I think it's because I talk to the same people a lot, and most of the time I know what they're on. But a lot of times I'll just forget, But Rick, you brought up a good point about AM. Because I guess I more so, if I think about it more, I wonder what people are on more when I'm on AM as opposed to sideband. So that's a good point. And I guess Brett, was it you that brought up the point about last night about they guys on sideband mostly talk about their amplifiers, which is a good point. You hear a lot of amplifier talk on sideband as opposed to talking about radios, So, I'm going to say 7-3, guys. I'm going to get out of here. I still got some stuff I got to wrap up here around the house before my son's flying in on Friday morning at 7 o'clock. He'll be here, 7-ish. So, I got been running around all day. I was over at my dad's at like 6:30, 7 o'clock this morning. Dropping off some stuff there to store there in the barn for the winter. So we're gonna get back on the quiet side, listen out for a while. But it's been fun, great hearing everyone, great signals all the way around, and we'll catch you guys next time. W2SDR in the group, W3MMR. I think it goes to you, Dad.
Yeah, W3MMR in the group, W2SDR. Well, I enjoyed the comments about 37:45. Well, that plus 160, right? Yeah, it's great. Well, I'm glad we're supplying some sort of an entertainment. Guys, you're probably throwing rocks at the radio, or the computer, whatever. But yeah, it's all good. Good bunch of guys, and I like the radio in the morning to keep, to pacify me. That and the coffee. In the morning is a combo. So I've been doing that for a long, long time. So, yeah, it's too bad you can't jump in there, Rick. So everybody's welcome, of course.
Football, and they forced us to wear masks, and I had a...
Good guys. All right, Terry, 7-3 to you, and I'm going to say 7-3 also. Get it over to Brett real quick, and so he can say bye to the other fellas, and... It's been fun. I've been on here for a bit. I'll probably tune up the band 73 or 85 just to listen around. I may jump back into here again shortly, but I think I'm going to devote some time into thinking what I'm going to have for dinner. And to DTS in the group, W2SDR on the standing by.
Okay, perfect timing. I got to get upstairs and start making the homemade stromboli. The local Italian deli sells pizza dough, large or small. You can get a fresh dough ball, roll it out, put all the stuff in it, wrap it up. And one of the local places we used to go for lunch has they put sesame seeds on it, and like on the top of the dough, and it really adds a nice flavor. Sesame seed stromboli, yeah. So that'll be good. A cheesy, pepperoni-filled nightmare of cholesterol, but hey, it tastes good. So what the hell? So I'm gonna pop up there and do that. And thanks for the audio report on the new equipment. I replaced 3 boxes with 1, so it's working out. And 73 is the Rick, and I won't be riding by your house anytime soon. I hope to get back out there, but I gotta find something small. I might get one of those monkey bikes and put knobbies on it. Maybe I could live through falling on that. I don't know. This is like the 3rd time. And my wife's getting fed up. But alright, 73's guys. N2DTS, clear with the frequency. It's always a pleasure.
Okay, yeah, you need a motorcycle with airbags. That's what you need, Brett. That'd be... So, alright guys, nice to run into you tonight. It's been a real pleasure. And if I don't get a chance to say it, I'll say it now. Merry Christmas to Terry and Frank, and you too, Brett. And I'll probably call you tomorrow, Brett, sometime on the way back from Pennsylvania. The 73 guys, have a great night, and talk to you again soon. N2GTS, W2SCR, W3MMR, WC2K, Chris.
Yeah, see you, Rick. Have Merry Christmas to you guys if I don't catch you. W3MMR.
Oh yeah, Merry Christmas, Barry, if I don't talk to you.
Yeah, you too, Dad. I don't think, yeah, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, you might get blacklisted.
I want to get coal this year. Coal.
Coal from your hub manager.
See you, Rick. W3MMR.
Later, WC2K.
Is tennis with your hands.
Hey, Bobby, that hood cap still arcing?
Yeah, I think so. Let me see. Find out here. Hold on.
Yep. Balls. Well, crap, man. Don't keep running it like that. You got a big signal anyway. Run the low power transmitter.
That answers your question.
Run it till it drops.
Okay, burn it till it smokes and then fix it.
Run the snot out of it.
Adjust for minimum smoke.
No, maximum smoke.
And everyone is loud here.
Yeah, you know, it's a noise floor tonight. Oh my God, we've had a stretch minus 1 day in the past week when I've had S3 or lower noise floors. This is awesome. This cycle, the solar cycle, has been awesome.
I have an asbestos tile noise floor.
It's almost like I got a squelch on this thing.
Oh, Charlie, you're even loud.
Yeah, you might think I had a squelch when there's nobody talking, there's no sound. I'm used to listening to, the whole time nobody's talking, I gotta listen to this growling noise. Even my local interference seems to be quiet tonight. I must be the unfortunate one. I got 9 pounds of noise.
What was that?
I said I must be the unfortunate one. I have 9 pounds of noise.
9 pounds. That's a scientific measurement I'm not familiar with. Yeah, it's really quiet. I'm up in the country, so not too much man-made noise in this area.
I shipped mine down to him.
Now, come on, Brent, you were never an 11-meter jockey?
Yeah, I lasted a month, Clark, back in 1985. I lasted a month, and the stupidity was stupendous.
Yeah, you didn't let it grow on you.
Come on, that was
yeah,
a fun
like
time.
moss. No, I got my ham ticket, and shortly thereafter.
That was a fun time back in the 80s.
Oh, hell, I was on 11 meters back in the late 70s, only after school. But, yeah, me and my friends would get on there. It was like the original social networking.
Back when it had 23 channels.
As soon as I... Oh, man.
Oh, the humanity!
Well, as soon as I feel better, I'll take this thing apart.
Oh, the goat's getting you again there, Bob.
How much do you want for it?
I'll take a vowel for $50.
What?
What's my line on the internet transmitter? Clark, you're killing me.
Bob, drop the power down to low power. You're going to damage the transmitter, and then you're going to have to fix it. You're not going to be very happy if you do that. The big advantage of CB, as I recall from the 70s, was that there were girls on CB, and you could meet them.
Yeah, lot lizards at the local truck stop, Steve.
Yeah, all 400 pounds of them.
No, we the Oat Man and I met some cuties.
Oh, sure.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah, Charlie.
I met my wife in 78 on 11 meters. And within a year, we were engaged and gotten married. And just before we got married, and we were really serious, it was like the stupidity that went on down there. There were people constantly trying to drive a wedge between us with and threw them out, and we got married. And I didn't have another radio until 15 years later when I got hurt at work. And I was kind of stuck at home.
11-meter matrimony.
That is a good story, Charlie. I don't know anybody who ever met on CB and got married. That's fabulous.
I'll take this piece of crap apart.
Yeah, Bob, Steve's right. Drop the power. Stop arcing over the load cap.
I did. I'm on, what do you call it? Tune power. So, but as soon as I feel better, I'll take this piece of crap apart.
Yeah, now you're only 60
You're 40
over.
and 50 over, so what the hell difference is 6 dB going to make?
Well, the thing is, if you got it, use it. So, as soon as I feel better, I'll take this piece of crap apart and fix it so I can run it the way it should be run.
You know, it's funny, Bob. You're 40 over here, but it sounds better to me than it normally does now that you reduced power.
Oh, yeah? Huh. I don't know why.
Neither do I. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, you got to get 2 brand new modulator tubes and move those to the PA service. That'll work.
There you go. Yep. Anyway. Yeah, so I'm running quarter power now. So we'll see what happens. But let's see. Oh yeah, it's working okay on here. It's not cutting out on overload shutdown. That's what it's doing. It's out on overload shutdown. It's not the load cap that's arcing. So I got to. Evidently, I'm getting RF into something. So I'll as soon as I feel better, I'll work on it. But I don't quite feel good enough to mess with it right now. Wait a day or two.
I think it sounds cleaner now. W3MMR.
Not arcing.
I think it sounds cleaner.
Cool.
I got it.
You know the loading cap is not arcing.
Because I'd hear it.
Well, it would arc so quickly, it may not arc for long enough for you to discern it with your ears. Anyway, hard to know. Or you could have RF getting into something. WA1QIX making lentil soup.
Yeah, well, it's probably a combination of both, but anyway. All right, let me shut up. Go ahead, guys. Pick it up. I'll dink around here for a bit. K1KBW.
It's definitely cleaner. W3MMR.
Hey, Perry. Hey, how'd your thing go, Bob?
He said he did well, Jim.
Anyway, I'm back to my dinner. Just wanted to jump in and say that everybody's like 85 over S9, if that's possible. W3MMR.
Yeah, good to hear you, old man. Hey, I told you I got some edge-wound broadcast and inductors for the double L match tuner.
Nice. Good. And you could get it built.
Yeah, I just got to order a knife switch to move the cap, input, output. But, I'm excited to try that. It'll be simpler than the Pinet. But as I cut the dipole,
I reduced the load impedance significantly on 160 and 80. So down from 1100 ohms. You know the story. Anyway.
Yeah, man, you're gonna love it. So hopefully all works out as planned. All right, back to dinner. We'll catch up with you guys in a bit. W3MMR, we're listening.
Yeah, I'm going to go up and get dinner. 73W1IA.
97.3, fellas. KM4XG.
See you, Jim.
W3PST.
Well, the lava lamp is on. The red matter is flowing, but I turned into a pumpkin at, let's see here, 2300 Zulu.
And good evening to Scott, and 7-3 to Scott as well. 7-3, guys. W3MMR.
What's that, Harry?
Hello there.
That's right.
Why can't my radio be this quiet all the time?
It can be. Just disconnect the antenna.
Oh, is that what I did? I'm still got the station connected upstairs. Is that why it's so quiet down here?
There's a lot of mysteries down there, Charlie, that are unsolved. You could have your own cable channel as a result.
So, Clark, did you see the news about the Boeing test pilot? They're gonna blame him for the crashes. They charged him with like 6 counts of fraud, I think it was, saying that he falsified flight test data, and Boeing is going to get off scot-free, it looks like.
Well, that's sort of weird because, this has been, all right. I mean, it's been so long, it's strange that they're able to take it all the way back to that.
Yeah, they're just, they're going to hang on a low-level employee. That's what it's about, Yeah, the poor schmuck is going to end up, it's just one more thing, Clark. It makes my blood boil, I mean, it was bad engineering. Bad. And they're going to say it was the test pilot's fault.
I don't know. They might have gone and worked something out. I mean, if your company comes to you and said, listen, we've got lots of cash, but we need to preserve our reputation, and you're about to retire, what if we just give you, like, bucket trucks full of money, and you take the heat for this? There could be another angle to this.
I never thought of that.
For the whole thing, and we'll buy you an island in the South Pacific.
Oh yeah, we'll cover all your legal expenses. We'll take care of everything, but you need to take the blame because our reputation is most important to us. Wow, now that was heard around the world.
That was outstanding.
You imagine what a trick at parties that would be if you could belch hydrogen gas?
Girls love that.
Especially at birthday parties where you blow out the candles. Well, in theory. Turn into a dragon. God, that's almost worth trying. I gotta rent a little can of hydrogen for the next birthday party. Just take a hit of that. Oh yeah, blow out the candles. Stand back.
Doesn't that produce rain?
What? Blowing hydrogen? I don't know. The Hindenburg showed otherwise.
Get nitrogen oxide. somebody got a mean car. Listen to that.
It's the Hindenburg going over.
I think we had our first earthquake on the East Coast just now.
Wow. Even the dog's barking. Holy crap.
That sounds awesome. That sounds like a Harley to me.
Yeah. Yep. They're gone. No, that's a pickup truck.
Amazing.
Healthy.
Not much gain on that microphone.
What's that, Charlie?
I say there's not much gain on your microphone.
Well, I really don't have the gain up. It's just that, it picks up low frequency pretty good, the B1.
Yeah, I thought the Hindenburg was going over.
Yeah, no, the B1 is really good. I think it goes down to a little bit below 20 hertz.
Leftover, make sure I'm not doubling. Leftover from my days as a pirate broadcaster, every time I heard a truck outside my house, I assumed it was the FCC. And I still cannot get over that today. Every time I hear something, is the FCC out there? Oh, wait a minute. That was 50 years ago. I don't have to worry about it now.
Yeah, well, one night it was the FCC.
That is a fact. It was.
Steve, you were a radio pirate?
Yeah, and I got, make sure I'm not doubling. Yeah, and I got caught. It's still on my Corey report. I forget what the acronym stands for, but, yep, still on my Corey. They dropped the charges. I was 17 years old, and I was running, yes, WFAT, a heavy station. And I was running real power. I had a 4-400. I mean, it was not super low power, and I got caught in the act. So, but anyway, it's an interest. Someday I'll tell the whole story. But I gotta go tend to my soup. But yes, yep, that's what happened back in 1972. I guess, yeah.
How's my little transmitter coming along, Steve? Did you work on it?
He's working on his lentil soup right now.
Yeah, with the aphrodisiac mushrooms.
Yeah, Shroom City.
Well, Steve's esteem just went up 2 notches in my eyes, I'll tell you what.
Oh, yeah, he was a boot.
Well, he and Clark are the only real, honest-to-God radio pirates I ever knew, really.
I don't know. I did my fair share on 6250. This is W2ENY.
Yeah, I did too. Back when I was, how old was I? I think I was like 11 years old. Yeah, I had my own radio station. Used a 117L7 and plugged the microphone in. Used to play records over it. Had a antenna, it must have been about 200 feet long, going out in the backyard. Man, that covered the whole town.
Well, I stand in awe.
50s.
Yeah, 6250, man. That was when BBC shut off their transmitters for like 1 hour, and that was like Pirate City back in the day. I had a Heathkit Apache. I had a pad the driver tuning by like 20 puff, and that thing fired right up on 6250. It was great.
Well, I gotta say, that takes
Man, I
great
wonder
big
if
balls.
Auntie Beebs ever found out.
Hey, I wonder if Jim's heard his new phonetics yet. Kiss my 4 ex-girlfriends. Oh, I like that.
Kiss Bob's wad.
You know how hard it is to come up with phonetics for this call?
Brent would say kill bongweed.
Well, I can't believe it's almost 6 and none of us are circling the drain yet. That's exceptional.
Circling the what?
I mean, I'm even still hearing Charlie. Propagation is hanging in there.
Oh, yeah. Well, it might hang in there for the night. Who knows?
You know, we got a new set of sunspots just rotating into view. You know, it seems like we got a quiet side and a noisy side to the sun lately. It's like every 28 days, you know, this the noisy side comes back around, and the sunspot number just goes up.
Wow, every 28 days the noisy side comes around. Sounds like dealing with women.
Yeah, it's almost like that. It's loony.
Hey, maybe Mother Earth is letting us know.
Yeah, we had like 3 or 4 spotless days in a row last week, and this new group just rotated into view. Sunspot number today is 40, and the solar flux has jumped up from the low 70s to 89, almost 90 today.
Man, can't even do a monkey puppet. Damn it, they screwed up my lip.
What'd they do to your lip?
I don't know, when they stuck that scope in there, they put a big bump in the middle of my upper lip.
Barbarians.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to write him a nasty letter.
Hey, I saw something funny on the Red News the other day. What were these things? They're oh man, health. No. Wait a minute. Health cages? No, health pods. No, but they talk about it. But it's supposedly now, okay, this thing that you go into it like an MRI machine, right? And it uses some kind of electromagnetic magic to rebuild your organs and repair things inside you and blah, 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 bing. Have y'all seen anything like that?
Yeah, oh yeah, you believe that, they'll tell you another one.
I saw a picture of it with Trump standing next to it, and he was talking with some scientists in white coats. I kid you not, Bob. Where did I see that? I think it was on MeWe.
Oh yeah. That must be something.
He saw that while on board an alien spacecraft.
Oh yeah. I don't like running low power. Damn it. I gotta fix this thing.
You're gonna bloat it up.
Well, I don't care. Then I can fix it. I built the damn thing. I should be able to fix it.
Good evening. Good evening.
Speaking about that, I can do something you shouldn't do. I'll do it while I'm keyed down. Really break it. So let's see. Turn the variac down. Focus up. And let's see. Let's see what that'll do. Yeah, shouldn't have done that, but I did it anyway. Yay, 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 yay. Oh, there we go. It's working okay now. I think I unbroke it.
What are your thoughts on electric cars?
Screw 'em. Too much money and they're worthless.
Grossly inefficient.
Yeah, they don't go far enough on a tank of gas.
They don't go anywhere on a tank of gas.
You go, it stays.
Well, they announced that Toyota is stepping away from hydrogen-powered cars, and they're ramping up for EVs.
Yeah, I should make a nuclear car. There you go. That way when you get in accidents, it spread radiation all over the place and kill everybody.
This is KM4XG de-energizing the level amp in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 73 ohm.
K1 KBW. Where are you going, Jim?
I gotta wrap presents before the people get home.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Very good. Well, I'm running 3/4 power, and that's working. So I'll run this for a while, and then find out why the hell I can't go up a couple of more whiskeys. All right. Catch you later, Jim. K1 KBW.
7-3, Jim, and 1XZW.
Yeah, 7-3, all the best, brother. W2E1.
How's those lentils coming, Steve?
I think he ate them all.
Well, the last time around with the lentils, he went to make green ones or something, and he poured them out, and come to find out he didn't have as many as he thought he had, so he had to mix red ones with the green ones, and they cook at different rates, and he was in a world of mess over there, but I'm sure this time he made sure he had enough lentils before he started.
Lentil? Isn't that the movie with Barbara Streisand?
Yeah, they got yellow ones, too. I don't know what that's all about, but... Oh, is that Blaine in there?
Hello there. Sounds like you're doing okay. Things went well today?
What's up?
Nothing. How you feeling? Everything go okay? Everything come out okay?
I think so. I don't know where they put it, but yeah. So far, so good. Not feeling too bad. Not up to snuff, but you know, I need to work on my transmitter here, but not quite feeling that good. But I'll tackle it tomorrow. I'm running about 3/4 power.
Oh, well, you're still strong as ever, so sounds good.
Can't do a monkey puppet though. They put a big lump in the middle of my lip here. They must have had something pressing against it when they were sticking that crap in my mouth, down my lung.
Well, I probably went down there with a little camera and a probed around with little hooks and probably found a missing fet down in there.
I think they had a bulldozer. I think it was a D8.
Yeah, you're starting to get warbly. I think the band's going to crap out.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, I'll go to 160. Then I can run full power.
So who else is in there? I think I heard Jim, did he just signed out to go rep Presence, and I think Charlie's in there. Where's my audio down a little bit? Yay, 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 yay. Okay. I'm hearing something funky going on, but yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, you're smelling your upper lip. Yeah, Clark is in there. There's a bunch of people in there.
My radio's on the fritz.
And there's Ted.
Yeah, this silly thing's humming for some reason.
Tired every day, Ted.
Hey, Bob. Yeah, I got to chase down what's making this thing do a 30 cycle side test.
Well, it's not
you're 30 over here. Good signal.
Sounds much better now.
Oh, it's better? You mean it stopped humming?
Yeah, it must have learned the words.
Oh, that's good to know. I can use my radio again now.
Yeah, got the tune down pat now.
This thing is, it's hard to figure these radios. They hum and then they stop humming for no reason.
Well, it's because they forget the words.
Of course. That's silly of me.
Yeah, before I was listening before, and when you were in there, it almost sounded like someone was, almost zero beat with you, because it was quite pronounced, and he unkeyed and there was no carrier there. Then he keyed up again and there was that noise again. And Clark said, "You're humming," and I heard it myself, but no, you don't sound like that now. So sounds good.
Yeah, it's some kind of a motorboating thing. I don't think it's 60 cycle week. I think it's some kind of motorboating.
No, it's lower than 60. I mean, it was like someone was almost zero beat with you, but off a little bit, and it was very low frequency.
Yeah, it wasn't a motorboat. It sounded more like an airplane or a helicopter.
Yeah. Well, it's these old radios. I guess this thing's on its last leg.
Were you motorboating a big old pair of breastises?
The way I see it, if there's no smoke coming out of it, it's all right.
Yeah, man. If the audio is so distorted that they can't understand you, then there's no point at all.
Well, I let the smoke out of this the other night. I was working on it, and I had my not bread slicer, the knife switch open. So the antenna wasn't hooked up to the rig, and I keyed it. I keyed the rig with no antenna on it, and the rig says, "Oh, I'm okay, but the load cap ain't," and it arced over the load cap.
No, you must have been fighting a big SWR.
Yeah, you think with no antenna? Yeah, the load cap went zorch. Yeah, I'm still running it now. I gotta, when I feel better, I gotta open this thing up, slide it out of the rack, and clean up the load cap. Get the bumps off it.
You're not using a vacuum variable for that?
No, the vac cap's on the series cap. The load cap is a bread slicer. It's a 4-ganger.
Load.
Yeah, it's tough to get a vacuum variable there because it's like I don't know, it's over 2,000 pop.
Yeah, usually they band switch in a bunch of doorknobs to kind of augment the variable.
You know, I have, speaking of vacuum variables, I have a 500 PF vacuum variable around here somewhere. And I really should take that 10-tech cap out of this deck here and put that vacuum variable in there.
Yeah, it might work better. No. Oh, just kicked out. You can't really use doorknobs. Ted. They're okay for tubes, but they don't like the heavy amperage of the E-rig.
Well, I got some Ruski doorknobs there. They've got a lot of amps going through them, and they seem to be okay.
No, not enough.
Okay, you got to turn this down a little bit more. Let's see.
There we go. Turn the voltage. Let's see if it's kicking out now. Yay. No, it's okay. All right. Yeah. Doorknobs, no. Got to use multi-ceramic caps. They're like heavy amps. They're like, I don't know, like 20, 30 amps or so. Oh, how come this thing won't key? Oh, I got it keyed over here. Sorry about that.
Sounds like somebody's frying bacon on the thing.
Yeah, don't it?
Well, I think I'll go have my popcorn.
Be right back. Gotta hit that high man center. K1 KBW.
And 1XZW.
W2ENY, and you're not.
All right, guys, 73. I'm going to go upstairs and see what's for dinner.
Probably food.
No food.
All right, Ted. Catch you later. N1 GTU.
That's all. K1QAR.
everything. We all kind of do the same sort of stuff. And hope to get everything up and rolling again this year, in addition to the hot sauces and things. I think I mentioned those on the Zed. But, yeah, fun stuff.
Yeah, Rich. This year we had a good bunker crop of apples too. I got 700 pounds of apples out of the backyard, and I think we ended up with about 20 gallons of cider, and took 5 of that and made hard cider out of that. And I actually put it in a keg and carbonized it, or whatever you want to call it. And that came out very good. That was nice. Over.
Yeah. The place that I work, I work over in Bristol, Connecticut, and the place that I work, they have like 147 fruit trees. Most of them are apples, some of them are pears, some of them are plums, some of them are peaches, but the lion's share of them are actually apples. And at the end of the season, they grind them all up and they make basically apple juice. They call it cider, but it's apple juice. And I try to get myself 5 gallons of it at the end of the season to do hard cider. And I didn't get any this year. But it doesn't matter because I'll make it from apple juice from the store even. But it's fun to do, It's just cool when people come over and you've got the stuff you made.
You don't want the pasteurized stuff. Can you get it unpasteurized, Rich?
Oh yeah, when we pick all the apples off the trees where I work, they run it through this grinder and grind them all up, and they put them in this. It's sort of a press that has a bladder in it, and you put all the apples around the outside, and then they inflate the bladder, and it squeezes all the juice out of the apples. It's a neat little thing, and they end up pasteurizing most of it, but usually I'll catch him before he makes it, and I'll have him give me like a 5-gallon pail before he pasteurizes it, but I didn't catch him this year.
Yeah, very good. I've made ciders, piments, and mead also, and Monk, you're going to have to share a recipe on the sparkling apple cider. I love apple cider, but there's a lot of technique to doing wines versus beers, and I used to teach classes in that stuff for beer brewing, and I really enjoy it. And there's a lot of science behind it and a lot of finesse. Over.
KT1GTK.
Hi, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, Brett, I thought that was you. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, one thing I want to do that I haven't done, and we don't make nearly enough use of it with the pear trees that we have on the property where I work, is to make perry. And I really want to make perry. And this year I'm going to pay particular attention because pears, they don't ripen on the tree. You got to pick them, and then they ripen. And this coming year I want to make some perry because it comes out like sparkling white wine if you do it right.
Yeah, I suspect so. Monk, you must have that recipe down.
Yeah, I made 2 years ago, I had a nice crop of pears, and I made pear mead, and it was very good. And this year I did a mixed berry mead, blueberries and mulberries. And I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I think it's going to be pretty good. Over.
Yeah, excellent. I made a blueberry stout, a barley wine that we aged for 10 years, and it was outstanding. It takes a lot of patience to wait. Anyway, hi, Paul. How you been?
Good. KT1GTK here. I was just tuning around. I saw this gargantuan signal. Tuned into it. I wasn't even didn't have my tuner on anything close, and I said, that's Brett. I just got to get my tuner hooked up here and just say hi. So I did that. Go ahead.
Yeah, good to hear you. I've been talking to Don occasionally, too. He shows up on 1930. I'm new to 1930. On a quick note, Paul, the 160 antenna I've been working on, so I shortened it today. I had some reactance numbers I wasn't happy with, so I modified it and shortened up the feed line, did a modification on my link coupled tuner. You remember the one on the plywood? Well, it's now on a cutting board, and I added a vacuum cap for the primary. And I'm going to be building a double L match configuration tuner also for experimentation. Anyway, over to you, Paul.
Okay, I don't know I was listening to all your brewery stuff. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, very good. So you're using the one that you brought over the shop there, and I decided to build one. Is that what you're on now?
Yeah, it's been modified, but essentially the same secondary, primary, and a little change on the input caps and output caps. There's a Russian cap on the secondary and a 10 kV Jennings on the primary.
Cool. That was the one you broke the original vacuum cap on originally back when I was starting to build mine.
Yeah, I put the damn cap on the bench and threw a pulley on the bench, and luckily, just my luck, it hit the glass at the right angle and broke it. So after I was in mourning for a week over that, Keith had a couple other big fat Jennings. They're huge, but anyway, not to go too crazy with this, but yeah, Rich, I didn't know Rich was a brewer, and Monk I just met as a phenomenal brewer. So anyway, let's pass this number around, W1IA in the group. Or not.
Well, yeah, the brewing thing, that's just something I've been doing for a long time. But like I said, I neglected to put any mention of it on the Z page because I find I spend a whole lot more time doing woodworking and stuff like that. But feel free to check that out there. And yeah, I definitely want to get some stuff going, some new brews, and get my hops lines rehung because they fell down with Isaias blew my trees down. So yeah, it'll be neat to do something new again. Over.
Yeah, roger that, Rich. Yeah, and if you ever need hops, you want to do some, I generally have a surplus of certainly the Cascade and the Nugget. So I don't know if you've got them or if you need them, but let me know. Over.
Hey, Mug.
Yes, sir.
Can you measure the IBUs on the Nugget?
I never have, no, but I can't be too far off because some of my recipes come out, pretty darn close to the originals. I got really good at a couple of them, like Bill's Two-Horted Clone and the Pliny the Elder. They were like spot on what you would get, there at the store. Over.
Excellent. There's nothing better than fresh hops. I do all grain. If you're a real brewer, you do all grain. Anyway, go ahead, Rich. Sorry.
Right on. No, I totally do grain. I'm set up to do all grain, but I can do, I'll do extracts if that's all I got or whatever. But yeah, I do all grain, and yeah, if you did Pliny the Elder and you pulled that off, that's a pretty good go. You know what I found out though? A lot of these heavier IPAs and stuff, they're relatively easy to do, expensive to do, obviously, because you need the malt and all of the hops and stuff. But I find to do a lighter beer, something with a lighter, more delicate taste, is far harder to do because if you screw any part of it up, it's awful.
Yeah. Lagers are really difficult. We had a lagering refrigeration system I designed. It was good for 1/10 of a degree, and we could cold crash stuff for clarity, and it was a real pain in the butt. And it comes down to soft water chemistry, and I know, Monk, you know this. And people forget the most important part of brewing is quality malt, quality water, and quality hops, period.
Yeah, I definitely second that. I was blessed with a pretty good well here in Garrison, and I think it really contributes to my beer, my mead, even my coffee. I roast my own coffee beans, and boy, I'll tell you, I go to other people's places, and you have coffee there, and I know right off that they're on some sort of town water that's chlorinated and fluorinated, and who knows what else. Over.
Yep. Well, if you know your beer brewing history, Saccharomyces carlsbergensis came from Pilsen, Czechoslovakia, and the soft waters of Pilsen on Trent, are amazing, and they still do, pitch line tests. And if you want to drink a good Pilsen, and they're incredibly difficult, ales are easy, but if you go into lagers, that's a whole different world.
Yep, that is absolutely true.
You guys know a piece of trivia that's pretty funny. It's the original, motto or byline for Anheuser-Busch was the king of beers. Well, the original Budweiser Budva was brewed in Pilsen, Czechoslovakia, I believe, or Northern Bavaria. Anyway, they stole the logo and reversed it. There was a lawsuit that went on for years. It was the Beer of Kings originally.
Well, I didn't know that, that's for sure. Over.
See, Rob, you missed it. I have to check you out on the board now that you missed it.
Well, damn.
I thought you would at least make the caboose.
But yeah.
But he forgot. He thought it was Tuesday.
Well, I was out on the back porch. You know what that means.
Oh, yeah. Screwdriver time.
Or 3.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, Rob, today I had 2 screwdrivers. The second one I had, I zipped that down and I said, oh, man, I had to go get up and go to the bathroom. I could hardly stand.
Well, tomorrow night, after you get your drink made, throw about a jigger or 2 of cranberry juice in there with it, and you'll just go to another level.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually do that. I usually either have it with cranberry and or orange juice.
Oh, you do cranberry and grapefruit juice. It's called a sea breeze.
Or do your orange juice, do your screwdriver, and throw a couple of jiggers of cranberry in there.
Yeah. N4FUX51.
WA4FE.
And 4ROM.
W1KH.
A break for a short contact, testing new antenna.
N4ZP.
Wait a minute. Wait just a minute. Hey, Tim?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's better. Were you QRP a minute ago?
I'm always QRP.
'Tim had a nice piece of key lime pie and he never offered it to any of us.
Oh, I see.
Ew.
now. Go ahead and do it. Just do it.
The hell's going on out here?
Man, Draby.
What's happening, Uncle Paulie?
Oh, not much. How you feeling?
Oh, I'm getting there slowly but surely.
Oh, you can move around?
For a little while until my lower back starts burning, then I got to go lay down on the heating pad and switch it off with ice. What's up, Walter?
Not much, man. We've been worried about you. Ain't heard from you.
Yeah, this was the big one here, man, I'll tell you.
Wait, what did you do?
For, quite a few days.
What did you do?
I didn't do nothing. That's the thing about it. That's usually the worst ones.
Oh, you must have pooped the wrong way.
Yep, I think maybe I crapped one out horizontal.
Oh.
It rubbed my spine on the way out.
Oh.
Man, I got one hell of a noise level up here. There's a big old thunder boomer headed our way. It's 57 degrees here right now, guys.
Yeah, I did see that big front moving on you, the big old rain band coming.
Oh, yeah. We're supposed to get like 45-mile-an-hour winds tonight, or later on in the morning or something like that.
Hey, Walter.
Yeah, Rob.
Yeah, tell him he can't double clutch that thing.
Yeah, Rob says don't double clutch that back.
Exactamundo, yeah.
You know what happened? He probably missed a stroke.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's wrong, Paul? It's been a while, man. I'm going to have to get my blow-up doll, but I need tire patches.
Well, talk to Mark. He knows all about that stuff.
Oh, no, just put plugs in it.
Down in Florida, I'm just barely hearing them guys way down south there.
Obi!
Walter!
There's the Dobinator.
Indeed.
Good evening.
Good evening, Gravy.
Good hearing you out there tonight, Dobie. Good signal.
I thank you, sir.
We need some of that Dobie barbecue.
Yeah, Dobie sauce.
There they go. See, Dobie? Everybody wants Dobie sauce.
And only a few of us have had it.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, we could sell it.
And that's what I was thinking.
You got hammered yesterday?
Well, I know I'm not a drinker by any means, but the guys that were with bought me a Christmas drink, and I could not refuse it. I had two of them, and I'm not a drinker at all. The second one kind of floored me just a little bit.
That's right.
My wife says to me, "You going to drive home?" I says, "Yeah, most certainly. The tracks are laid. All I got to do is get on the tracks, and it'll bring me right to the house." That's right.
What was it, 3-4 miles?
Probably 3 miles.
Oh, you need to get a golf cart.
I just think if you had a Tesla, you could just, hands-free and it'll drive you home.
Well, I had a golf cart, brand new one when I lived in Tampa, and I ended up selling it before I came up here because I'm not close enough to the golf course. If you live a certain distance away from the golf cart, they have a golf cart path you can jump on and ride it around. But where I am, you're not allowed to bring it in the road.
By who?
By the authorities.
They're not going to catch you, Mark.
You can make it street legal. You can ride it anywhere.
Doesn't cost much. You can, certain golf carts. Matter of fact, there's a couple guys that got them up there with license plates on them. But, there's a certain type of golf cart. It's high off the ground. It's got big tires on it. It's, the average golf cart you can't bring on the highway.
Yeah, you got to have a triangular shape, warning sign, and you got to have turn signals.
Oh, no. We're going to have strobes and everything on Mark's boombox, stereo.
Well, Mark, you said the key word right there, highway. They're not going to let you drive anything on the highway that's not a certain size engine.
Yeah, but you don't have to drive on the highway, Mark. We've been into the country club.
Just listen to us, Mark.
Yeah, have we ever steered you wrong before?
Ways like Tim has. That's the one. Then I'll throw the knapsack and a knapsack on my back. And I'll drive up to the club, that's all.
Yeah, you can bring your own liquor and beer. Put it in the cooler.
Put your cooler in the back. Oh, yeah. See?
New meaning to the 13th hole.
Yeah. There's a guy up there, man. He must have spent a ton of money on this thing. This thing, just picture it. It's a miniature Land Rover.
Wait a minute. Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, sometimes you just can't win. I sent an email to JBE and to you too, so, let me know what you think about that idea. Actually, there's not much going on down there, Harry. We don't go down here because we used to lose a lot of people. But I don't think they're not around anymore. Yeah, their mamas probably put them all to bed. Yeah, we used to hang out here because, the generals could access this frequency. Yeah, QSL on that. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, well, in a pinch, that's what maybe the game plan. Yeah, Roger. It's funny, I didn't have any feedback through my speakers there, and now I do on this one, so it's kind of weird. I bet it's coming from the wall. Yeah, I hate to admit it, but I have about a half a dozen of them. Well, they're really not the culprit. The wiring in your house is like the appropriate length. Kind of makes me wish I had it wired with BX. Yeah, I don't know if that affords you much. Oh, you don't think so? No, it would just make the sheathing radiate. And all of that would couple into the wiring. Yeah, I was just thinking that, yeah. Well, I guess sometimes you just can't win, right? Yeah, well, how you win is you put a choke right where it enters into your audio thing. Yeah, I got chokes on just about everything right now, believe it or not. Amazing, I'm all choked up. Yeah, you gotta sniff out where it's coming in. 'Cause there's a isobar makes a surge RFI suppressor plugged right over your duplex outlet, and it decouples it.
See that video of Dementia Joe today laughing when the woman asked him if Christmas was going to be more expensive this year, and he was actually laughing, saying, yeah, it's going to be more expensive for Santa Claus this year. What a jerk.
No, he just revealed what he is.
Yeah, he ain't joking. The price on everything's going up pretty quickly. JB1CRQ.
Pretty quickly?
Yeah, I was looking at an inverter, I don't know, a month ago or so, and it's gone up another $30 in the last month.
Oh, $30 ain't nothing. Don't complain. They want to spend another $5 trillion. What do you think's going to happen then?
Well, that was a 25% increase, basically.
Buy it now while it's still cheap, Matt.
Yeah, right. Those DC compressor fridges, Mike, those things went up $80.
Yeah, nothing's going up. That's what I tell everybody. Nothing is going up. Your money is going down.
Well, yeah, true that, yo.
Hey, Mike, remember the other night there was an LP100 on QRZ you mentioned to me?
Yeah, the second one.
Yeah. Well, there was like two within an hour or so of each other.
Yeah, they both went, right?
Yeah, they both sold really rapidly, like within a half an hour.
It's crazy out there.
Oh, wait, it hasn't started yet. When the people are hungry, the shit's going to hit the fan.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I doubled with you for a second, and we still ain't seen nothing yet.
Like that old Bachman Turner Overdrive song, right?
You ain't seen nothing yet, baby.
Yeah, that's it.
That's a great tune.
Taking Care of Business is another real good one of theirs.
That's by Turner Bachman Overdrive?
Yep.
I did not know that.
The original one.
Okay. Yeah, because I didn't even know who had done You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet until just recently, in the last, I don't know, 2 years or so, 3 years.
And then there were the Doobie Brothers.
Yeah, that's the 70s.
Yeah, it was. They had some great tunes, the Doobies did.
You a bunch of old hippies? Hi. I was just making a joke.
Might be old, but I was never a hippie.
I'll listen to the Doobie Brothers, Turner Bachman Overdrive.
Go listen. You want a song to listen to that was cut in the 60s and it's relevant today? Go listen to Montrose, a song called Paper Money.
I've heard that.
Check out the lyrics.
Or Masters of War by Bob Dylan.
By who?
Dylan.
Oh, Dylan.
Yeah, I know. He had some good ones, though. Masters of War is good. It's about the bankers sending our sons and daughters to fight in their wars instead of sending their own.
A Black Sabbath War Pigs is more appropriate.
Yeah, it's kind of in the same vein, just, Dylan versus Black Sabbath metal. Or rock, or whatever you want to call it. Heavy rock.
And then there's Steppenwolf. They got a song called Monster. Check that out.
Yep, that's another one.
The monster is the government.
You think?
Oh, it's painfully obvious. Go read the lyrics.
Were you, I don't think you were in there, Mike. Did you hear any of that?
Any of what?
The QRM last night on here on 44. I didn't jump in, but I was listening for a little while, and they were getting QRM pretty damn heavy. Joe and...
Yeah, there was a karma orgy tonight, too.
Yep.
Tonight, too. You missed it.
A regular old trigger fest.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure I could probably get it going again pretty fucking quickly.
Why, you gonna start knocking pedophiles?
Word.
That's what gets them going.
Isn't that something? Every time you bring that subject up, here come, roll out the quirmers.
Yeah, if I really want to start trouble, I talk about queers too in the same sentence.
Then you really trigger them, Mike.
Well, there is a correlation. KB1CRQ at 10 after.
12 a.m. Yeah, Joe had a real talent.
W2QAQ.
Mike, you know how I could rekindle that real quick.
I don't know. They don't seem to respond to that subject as vehemently as you think.
Oh, different group then, because we've got them going before with that.
Here we go. We got one on. Take in line.
We got a bite.
Just a drag.
Except the hook.
No, you never touch the drag when you got one on.
Oh, here he goes.
Farrakhan. Oh my God, he's penetrated the exoskeleton in Rhode Island. WX2T.
How much money he had to spend to be able to do that on frequency.
A couple of dollars a part.
Jesus, oh my God, OMG.
Am I making it over that?
You are over here, Matt.
That's cool.
Wow, that's cool. How many thousands of dollars do you have to spend to be able to trigger that?
WX2T. Why do we do this?
Because they can. They spend thousands of dollars, so why not?
You know, it's just Harry, it's a kind of a rhetorical question that's, it's just tongue and mouth cheek. You know what I mean?
I know, Rick. I know.
Listen to these pricks. These freaking pricks, they're idiots. Where's the old sage, Mike?
Joe Thomas is in hell. We got Saturn worshippers out there.
Harry, how are things out on Montauk Punt?
A tad bit rainy tonight, Rick. How about by you?
I think we got, I know we have small craft warnings posted on Narragansett Bay, south. Well, that's, well, of course the left would say, OMG, it's global warming, but it is interesting. Southwesterly winds, which are certainly warmer, but small craft warnings tonight posted through pretty much a fair amount of the morning tomorrow. But anyhow, anything and everything is fairly hunky-dory here, except for the QR Nancy, which I'm experiencing on 160, and I don't know. I'm trying to track this stuff down, but I think I'm getting some extraneous stuff in through the cable leakage system. Over.
You getting gazounces?
So what? What, Mike?
Getting gazounces.
I don't know what the hell I'm getting, Mike, but it's not good, and I'm getting ready to pull the main feed into the box on the side of the house, and that I have diagnosed everything inside the house, and I know it's not coming from the power line from National Grid. I went on battery power. I did everything. The only thing that I can perceive it being is from the goddamn Cox Cable Company, which is the bane of my existence. Over.
Yeah, well, if they got egress, they also got ingress. So that means you can get a signal in there.
Yeah, I don't know, man. And that's interesting because I was thinking, I hold my AM transistor radio up to my router and my modem. You should hear the hash. It's unbelievable. Now, is that being the transmitter, so to speak, of hash, RF noise? And is that's getting back and it's transmitting back into the whole system and then re-radiating it, and is that why my for example my 160 vertical is that picking it up again? And what do I have to do? Put common mode chokes on my router and my modem? I don't know.
Well, it depends on the quality of your wall wart. If it's got the common mode choke in it, it probably isn't too bad. But the Tricoms leave that stuff out to save money.
Oh, I know. It's unbelievable. Well, I ordered a whole bunch of chokes
to put on the feed line some really good stuff from not Davis. Oh shit, the hell is it? The company out on the West Coast. Anyhow, I ordered them. I don't know when the hell they're going to come in. I could be waiting till next Christmas, but some snap-on chokes on the feed line of my transmit vertical, which could be bringing it back in too, because I also receive on that vertical as well as my loop on the ground as well. You know what? It's complicated, but I have absolutely eliminated any problems being emanated from the house itself. I've turned the mains off. I went on battery, so I know nothing is happening from inside the house, at least.
Did you say strap-on chokes?
Now wait a minute, Harry.
Palomar engineer.
I know where you're going, man.
Palomar engineer.
Yeah, Palomar engineering. Palomar. Yeah. Absolutely. Palomar. Yeah, I've dealt with them many times. In fact, I have a as Kennedy would say, a W2 FMI transformer, 2.25 to 1 that I ordered from Palomar, going back to the old days back in New Jersey, when I had my 160 vertical, which I'm using right
I'll be
now.
back. KB1 Syracuse.
And so now Kennedy is being very transformed because he got a good blowjob in the back seat of his limousine. Over.
OMG. I wasn't expecting that.
Was that a good diatribe, or was it?
Maybe 3 years ago, I did business with Palomar for the first time. And I was not very happy with what they sent me when I had time to sit down and analyze it. So I won't be ordering off them anytime soon. The best deal is like Mauser sells the real ferrite. That's the real stuff.
I almost ordered from Mauser, but Mike, I ordered a whole bunch of big snap-on ferrites from It wasn't Mauser. Oh, it was Arrow. It was Arrow Electronics. Over.
Did you say strap-on?
Harry, you seem to be fixated on this strap-on thing. You must be a very, very sexual guy. Over.
He's thinking about Hillary and whom?
Yeah, my wife heard you. She's laughing, Rick.
Harry, I'm sorry. I've never met, but I know. You know what? To get on here, we almost have to have a sick sense of humor, but in a good way. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. It's strap on. It's funny.
The problem is they're importing a lot of Chicon ferrite, and they're pawning it off as American made.
I'll be right back. W2QAQ.
Well, WX2T. Mike, I read some good reviews on Arrow Electronics, and I got on their website. I signed on. I did all the ablutions, and I was almost going to go with Mauser. I was almost going to go with a couple of other companies, and I said, well, anyhow. Yeah, look at the permeability and the effectiveness and the suppression, and you just say, all right, well, let's let's throw them all on. Let's see what happens. But it can't hurt. But Jesus, I ordered 15 of these things. It was, you know, with and they throw a freaking value-added tax on now. It cost me almost $60. Over.
What do you mean a value-added tax? That's an EU tax.
Mike, it's you know, things are getting it's outrageous. Oh Jesus, it's you know what's going on. They're screwing us, man.
They've been doing that for 30 years. You're just starting to feel it now.
I know. It's pitiful, isn't it? It's just these kids that are coming up, at least my son realizes that he's in retail and he's hip to it. He's 30, 35, 36 now. He knows what's going on, but a lot of his friends that came up through, he's born in 85. A lot of these cats his age, the millennials and stuff, they have no clue. But thank God my son, he's got his head screwed on straight, only because he's a retailer. He's out on the street. He manages a store, and he deals with the public, and he knows what's happening, and he suffers the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the truth of the matter is Grandma and Grandpa got to choose between eating and heating their house. That's what's going on.
Yeah, isn't that pitiful? Jesus, that's Mike. You're right. It's been with this state of affairs, it's even more magnified, and the poor people that don't have good insurance, or they don't have cash flow, and they don't have any kind of savings whatsoever. They're at the point of, it's so sad. It really is. They're at the point of despair. They don't know whether they should buy food or buy their medications. Can you believe that going on week after week, month after month? This is sad, man.
Yeah, well, don't get me started on the medication thing, because I'll go off on the Rockefeller scum in the world.
Oh, I know. There's certainly more to the story. Hey, but more to the story. That was interesting about our fair-haired boy on Fox News. From St. George's School in Middletown, Rhode Island, just down the street from me.
Yeah, you wonder about that, A lot of them are controlled opposition.
Should I say it, Tucker or Fucker?
Yeah, it's like Alex Jones. A lot of people like him, but he's controlled opposition.
If you honestly, at times I like what he says, but I think Mike, he's being paid a lot of money. It's all part of the propaganda machine, and Fox in many respects, and I watch Fox a lot, but they're just as guilty as the left, but primarily oriented 180 degrees the other way. However, it's still a propaganda message, and if you're a purist, right? If you're a purist and you're a news gatherer and you want to use your own intellect to decipher and to process the news, you shouldn't have to really watch either. And so ergo, Tucker is just as guilty as the left is, and he's probably being paid off. And he went to St. George's school here in Middletown. You know, a very a prep school, real prep school. He's got a lot of money behind him and everything. So, ergo, being that he has a lot of money behind him, you know, I don't know. He's probably being processed by other sources. Over.
I don't know. I really don't know, but I'm going to be extra cautious now, to say the least. A lot of that going on. Hey, do you know what Rumble is?
I turned the volume up, but I had to run back. What, Mike?
I said, do you know what Rumble is?
Rumble, yeah.
Kind of like YouTube, but they don't censor?
Yeah, exactly. Over.
Yeah, they developed a business relationship with Trump's media company.
Now, when is he going to kick off?
February.
That should be interesting. Mike, please stand by. I'll be right back. WX2T, hold down the good old trigger net. Mike, you're the bastion of hope.
Yeah, me too. I'll be back in a minute, Rick. Go away. W2QAQ.
Another bastion of hope that's left on the ham radio bands. Hello, Harry, WX2T.
Where'd Mike go? Did he get the dinner bell?
No, I think he got lucky.
He hit the lottery?
No, I think he even did better than that.
Woohoo! KA1JB.
see how this good humor, right? This good humor. That's ice cream. Well, good humor is ice cream, yeah. It brings everybody out of the woodwork. Boy, we're back again, and we didn't have to go to Top Band, gentlemen.
Yeah, the good humor ice cream man. Remember him coming through the neighborhood?
Da-ding, da-ding, da-ding.
Yeah, it was a child molester.
I was just going to say, my ice cream man sold more than ice cream.
He sold love.
No,
he sold fireworks, and I don't know what else he sold, but I remember he used to sell M80s and cherry bombs.
Yeah, but didn't they have like? I'm using this is a lot of not plagiarism, but did he also have for the young guys? Did he ever have Playboy or Playgirl magazines on the side too?
Not that I'm aware of. I was pretty young, but I was thinking about it not long ago. And, ice cream man selling fireworks to little kids, that's, I don't know, that's something I would never be able to bring myself to do. You sell a little kid a freaking M80 and he blows his hand off. How could you live with yourself?
Oh, he's got one more hand.
At least he didn't lose the most important appendage.
He can still hold an ice cream with the other hand, can't he?
Well, on the other hand, I think you have a point there.
Still trying to deal with this crazy noise on 160, gentlemen, and I think I've narrowed it down to the infamous, veritably vicious and malicious cable TV system, namely Cox Communications.
Did you guys ever hear the story of the boy that was born only a head?
Which head?
His head.
That's too bizarre for me, man.
You never heard that story? But how about you, Joe? You ever hear about the kid that was born just a head?
No, never did.
Yeah, every day his mother used to sit him up on the windowsill and he'd watch the kids outside playing baseball in the street, wiffle ball, football, and he'd go to bed every night and pray that he'd wake up with a body. And believe it or not, one day his wish came true. A miracle it was. He woke up and he had a body. So his mother went out and bought him a baseball mitt. And he went out into the street and was playing ball with his newfound friends, and unfortunately got run over by a truck and died. So the moral of the story is, quit while you're ahead.
I liked it.
Kinda, sorta, huh?
Isn't that something?
Yeah, you never know.
Underline something.
Or in other words, if you're just ahead, quit your crying.
Or as Kennedy used to say, now let me say this about that. Which, now Joe being up in Massachusetts, Kennedy country, but I heard that the fact of the matter was that he never really uttered that statement. That was. Do you guys ever recall? I'm older than you are, but just got a pretty good head on my shoulders. I think I do. Anyhow, a comedian by the name of Vaughn Mader produced this album, this 33, and he did it was called The First Family. Do you remember that? It was all about the Kennedy family and Kennedy in his bathtub playing with he had a rubber duck, and he said, stuff like the rubber swan is mine, and so on and so forth. And do you guys remember that era?
When was that?
Can't say that I do.
Back in the 60s, my parents, in fact, I think I got to resurrect it, man. Joe, I know you're into this stuff, and Harry, I have a lot of old 33s, and I've got a good turntable. I used to work for Pioneer Electronics and all that shit. You know that. But anyhow, my parents also, I still have them, some 78s and stuff, but this goes back to the 33 era. Yeah. It was called The First Family. And there was a guy named Vaughn Mader. I wish I could spell his name for you, Mader, M-E-A-D-O-R, something like that. Look him up, Google him. But this guy did this unbelievable album, and it was impersonations. It was the funniest thing about the First Family, it was called.
I remember the one just after that one, the Tricky Dick is full of shit.
Oh, God.
I think that was Cheech and Chong, wasn't it?
Weren't they funny?
Yeah, hey, we were talking about Cosmoline before, right?
Exactly.
You want me to blow your mind?
It's been blown too many times already, Mike.
It was originally developed as like a hair wax.
Really? A hair wax?
Yeah, and the barbers noticed their scissors wouldn't rust.
Well, it's like, some of the young gay guys and the chicks, that are into the scene now, or, it's just, I think it's mainstream, with the hair. They say, the guys say, the gay guys say, or if it's a chick and she's straight, or whoever the hell it is, I don't know anymore, but I hear so many people talking about it, okay, with the uptalk, bullshit. The uptalk, they say, I had a bear, excuse me, hold on. Rick, get your act together. They say, I had a bad hair day, okay? When I woke up this morning, I had a bad hair day, okay? So I decided, okay, I'm going to put some more product. I'm going to put some more product in my hair. Now, what is that product that they're putting into their hair? Is it hairspray? Is it Cosmoline? Is it Vaseline? Or is it semen? Over.
Well, Jen Bukkake. Jen Bukkake, you tell me what she's putting in her hair.
Yeah, what is that shit, man? I don't like it.
You mean peppermint pishaki?
Yep. Jen Bukkake. Yeah, she takes it live. Oh my God. Yep. So.
but am I right, or am I just sounding too old, guys? Or I think I'm right on target. I don't like this shit, man.
They get stuck in the Valley Girl days.
Yeah.
You're not right. You're Rick.
Exactly, man. And I said this a while ago. This shit started to happen when I was back in college, and even before that. I graduated college in '76, and this shit started to happen out on the West Coast. This crap, this Valley Girl shit, and the uptalk. And I said, oh shit, it's done. We're over, man.
I thought they were all labia lickers.
Who cares?
Well, of course, Mike. Labia lickers. I love it. Mike always tells it like it is.
That's my opinion. I'm entitled to it, right?
But Mike, I'm older than you are, but I'm not decrepit, and I'm not ready for the crypt yet. But I witnessed this shit, man, and this is sick. It's pitiful, and this is just an abomination. It's quadrupled since then. It's basically the same old shit. It's just been magnified. That's all it is. It happened back then. They're still talking like that with the labia minor or major liquors back then. It's just the same old shit.
He graduated a year before Ruth Bader Ginsburg came out supporting lowering the age of consent to 12 years old.
Isn't it sick, gentlemen? It really is sick. And most people, they don't know. They have no clue because they have no history. They have no history because the school systems and the politics, Politics Nation, starring the Reverend the Reverend Shopton. Politics Nation has suppressed all this shit. You know what I'm saying?
You mean the Reverend Not So Shopton? Yeah, no, it's amazing. But Bob Grant knew. He told us it's sick and it's getting sicker.
Exactly.
Listen, they snuck a queer president in there that pushed gay marriage. Now that they got gay marriage, they're trying to normalize pedophilia and call these people minor challenged people. We're sliding down the slippery slope and we're accelerating quickly.
Mike, you're right. Yeah, minor challenge. Yeah, exactly. How the hell could you possibly try to challenge that? I mean, put that out in front of the American public and accept and think that they're going to accept that. It's really, really sick. This is bizarro world, man.
Yeah, that's what I always say. We're living in the twilight zone. You know, you hear the music.
And let's not even begin to talk about CRT in the school systems. And man, I got a guy across the street from me. He's a good guy, and he doesn't teach in Portsmouth or Bristol. He's across the border. He's up in Massachusetts in Fall River, and he just said, Rick, it's the CRT. It's gotten out of control. He says, and he's a young guy. You know, he's in his late 30s, early 40s. He said, I don't know. You know, I love the kids, and I'm trying to make a difference. I'm trying to realize right from wrong and teach them about history, but the CRT crap is encroaching into our curriculum. And he says, I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to have to call it quits and do something else for a living for the rest of my life. Isn't this pitiful? Here's a young guy. He's a good guy. I love this guy. He's my neighbor across the street. And he's succumbed to this crap to the point where he has to consider another vocation. Isn't that pitiful? WXDT.
Hell, the military, you got to get out because they won't get you a shot for you like Trump.
Man, it's unbelievable, isn't it?
Say it, Mike.
Say it. It's all going to come tumbling down sooner than you think.
Guy's double woo.
Bolsheviks are trying to take over.
Where's that old Motown song? I'm back. Something like that.
Yeah. But, you know, gentlemen, you know, when you hear it first person, right up and close personal in front of you, you know, a neighbor or something is going through this, and you see it on the news and you read about it and you hear about it regionally and locally, but when you hear somebody, a neighbor of yours, up there, close, front, and personal, and they're going through it, they're on the front lines, and you say, holy shit, and you get their commentary on it. And I don't know. Man, it's sad. It really is sad.
Well, Trump came out yesterday. He said, anybody else notice any inflation?
Yeah, a lot of us are behind him. Good God. Look at the polls. How can these idiots possibly be able to do anything during the midterms? I just hope and pray they're totally destroyed.
How could they be totally destroyed voting on Dominion voting machine?
Well, I hear you, Mike, but how the hell are we going to get around that, man?
How about internet blue laws? On election day, the whole internet goes down.
How are we going to... I hear you, but... Jesus, you know what I mean. How the hell are we going to be able to affect that? These Dems, they're evil. They've got, seems like they've got every... Well, I don't know if they have every base covered, but I don't know. I think it's getting closer and closer to a revolution. I really do.
JFK told you. We didn't listen. Infiltration instead of invasion. They've been doing this so long. They've infiltrated every form of life, every person, from the high up guy down to the janitor. They get the President Brian all the way out to your local municipal mayor. The China Sister Cities program.
No clue. They don't care. They're living in a bizarre world.
The institute and the college. It's been going on a very long time.
Conservatives, they're not really tuned in enough. They think they're tuned in, but they're really not. They don't do enough research, and they don't realize how bad things are. It's really, really bad out there. And you look at the smash and grab bullshit that's happening everywhere. Before you know it, it's not only going to be Louis Vuitton luggage in New York or Chicago or anywhere else. It's going to be in your own hometown near you.
Hey, they're busting in uptown restaurants and stealing people's Rolexes. Haven't you been paying attention?
I know, man. No, you're right, Mike. I agree. I see it. I hear it. I feel it, man. Over.
Yeah. No, it's well, leave them alone. They're showing you what they are and what they're all about. This is what they advocate.
But they're such idiots that they don't. They're too slow. It's like ED. It's like Joe Biden. ED. They're too slow to react to it. So by the time they finally react to it, it's too late. Over.
Yeah, well, we're feeling the pain in L.A. now, right? Things are getting so bad they can't function.
I mean, even Biden, when he was out there in Western Kentucky talking to, it was sad. He tried to take the, compassionate Joe approach and, the government's behind you and we're going to do this, we're going to do that for you and so on and so forth. He still looked, I don't know, Jesus, anybody that would hold out any hope or promise or feelings for him as though he's going to be able to do anything, you have to be an idiot.
No, he's just a figurehead that's pretending he has dementia, so he doesn't have to stand trial. They're going to say he's not competent enough to stand trial.
Exactly. Good point, Mike. Yeah, that's his out, right? He doesn't even need an attorney because it's kind of like a mafia type plea. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Pelosi's lining up the same deal, if you've been noticed.
Yeah, all she has to say is, well, I'm in the great state of California, and, my governor, whom I love, and I've given blowjobs to before, he's kind of let me down, okay? And now he doesn't, for some reason or another, he doesn't have the connections, okay, that Biden has or he has had in the past with the power grid. And now my beloved ice cream, okay, refrigerator has gone down, and I can't satiate myself with popsicle sticks or any other kinds of ice cream, which I kind of look at similarly to a really good blowjob. So all of that stuff has disappeared from me, man. So I don't know. I really don't know where I am anymore. And Mike, that's the moment I'm waiting for.
She's got a pair of Sub-Zeros. She's got built-in redundancy there. Her fridge never goes down.
Well, I know she's got some redundancy. Okay, I understand that with the solar panels, and she's got the generators and the propane and all that shit. But sooner or later, all that shit has to come down. Okay.
Is so removed from the